What's up, y'all? Okay, so March reading wrap up. 10 books that I read this month. Well, last month in 10 minutes, okay? First book I read, The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali. I was really vibing with this book at first, but then they decided to add in the sexual assault of a minor and try to make it like a romance novel. No. So take that part out. This is a 5. Put that part in there, went down to 3. Second book I read was Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finlay Boyan, I think her name is. That book surprised me, honestly. I was not expecting it because I went in completely blind. I didn't read the synopsis, I didn't look at any reviews. It was recommended to me by someone that I follow on Instagram when I was doing the 12 Books by 12 Friends challenge at the end of last year. So I decided to just go for it. And it was really good. It took a twist that I wasn't expecting, so that kind of shocked me, but it was interesting and it kept me, involved the whole time. And listening to her tell us about bees and honey and stuff that I didn't even know before, that was pretty cool. I like books that, teach me stuff. Third book I read, Black Candlewoman by Diane Marie Brown. Hmm, it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I listened to it on audio, which I think probably made me keep going because had I been actually reading the physical copy, probably would have DNF'd it. But since I did audio, I listened to it. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but I really didn't love it either. I think I gave it 3 stars. Yeah. After that, I read Perfect Peace by Dr. Daniel Black. That book, so good, but heavy trauma. Heavy trauma. Okay. I would check the trigger warnings before you read it, but I feel like everybody should read that book. It forced me to change my own thought process on certain like preconceived notions and misconceptions that I had about, gender and societal norms and whatnot. So I really loved it. Really good story, really sad story too. And there was a few characters in there that I wanted to reach in and like strangle them. So yeah, 5 stars for that book. After that, I listened to Coming Home by Kennedy Ryan on Audible because it's one of those Audible original stories. It was short, it was sweet, and it was really cute. Had a really happy ending. I think it was like 2 hours long at the most. 5 stars, loved it. And it introduced me to Kennedy Ryan for the first time because that was the first book that I had ever, read by her. So loved it. So then after I did that, I immediately had to go into Before I Let Go. And I love this book, not just because of the love story in it, because that was good. Don't get me wrong. I appreciated the fact that it highlighted therapy and mental health, especially for Black men, because that is such a stigma these days. I mean, we're doing better. We're doing better, guys, but there's still quite a bit more that we need to do in order to be where we need to be with mental health and therapy and all that. So I really appreciated that this book added that in there. Plus the spicy scenes. I'm not usually a spice lover, but I didn't hate it. It was interesting. Okay. Next book I read was Pachinko, and this was a buddy read, actually. I got bored. I won't even lie to you. I got bored. It started off pretty interesting, and I love learning about the Asian culture that was involved in the book, but it got boring. Like towards the middle, kind of lost me. I got, like sidetracked and really just didn't enjoy it for the rest of the book. Like they lost me in the middle and couldn't get my attention back, but I finished it because of the buddy read, but wouldn't really recommend that one. Next book I read was Don't Cry for Me by Dr. Daniel Black because after reading Perfect Peace, I wanted to see what else he had. So I went and got that one. That one was really sad too, but I appreciated it. I don't usually gravitate towards books that have a lot of Black trauma in it because, I mean, life. But I was glad that I read this one. And I feel like every parent should read that one at some point because it shows how your trauma can affect how you raise your child. And I really feel like that's an important lesson that we all need to learn before we head into parenthood or, during parenthood, whatever. I gave that one 5 stars. So then I circle back to Kennedy Ryan after reading Before I Let Go and Coming Home, and I did Real by her. And, that had the spice, blah, blah. But what I appreciated it for was the fact that it was like had more substance than just a regular love story, because the main character had lupus, and I have people that I know in my life and that I care about that have lupus, and seeing that struggle and seeing her deal with that and learn how to cope and navigate life with that illness, I appreciated that. That was 5 stars for me, because also Cannon would make a really good boyfriend if I wasn't married. And then the last book I read for this month was The House of Eve by Sadequa Johnson. And guys, this book did not give what y'all were telling me it was finna give. I mean, I read it. It was a nice story, but like the synopsis said that there was going to be some wild twist in how the girls' lives were like intertwined, and it wasn't. It was kind of disappointing. I was disappointed with that. I was expecting some like, circle back and being like, "Oh, this is actually this person and this is how we connect here." It wasn't. It didn't do it. So, I mean, it it was an okay story, but overall, I've read better. Like it was a bit disappointing. I think I gave it 3 stars. So these are all the books, the 10 books that I read for this month. Um, yeah, I'll be back next month with more books that I've read, because I'm currently working on this one. Currently working on Rootless. This is part of a buddy read as well. And then I have a few others that I'm going to read for the month of April. So I'm super excited to come back and tell you how that's going to go. But